In the world of Orsis, there lived a young man named Hajime Nagumo. The story begins with Hajime being thrown into the treacherous Orsis labyrinth, a place teeming with formidable monsters. In a horrifying encounter, a monstrous bear brutally severs his arm and devours it. However, Hajime manages to escape by using his unique ability to transmute objects, allowing him to burrow deep into the ground. There, he discovers an infinity stone that creates a pool of ambrosia, a miraculous healing fluid that keeps him alive. Through flashbacks, it is revealed that Hajime lacked any significant combat skills and that his only strength lay in his transmutation ability, which allowed him to manipulate matter. When his class ventured into the labyrinth, they faced a colossal behemoth, and Hajime was intentionally pushed into the abyss by one of his classmates after attempting to save Kaori. In the depths of the abyss, Hajime begins to deteriorate due to intense hunger, pushing him to hunt and trap the incredibly powerful wolves for sustenance. Surprisingly, upon consuming the monsters, his body undergoes a transformation as his muscles are constantly torn apart and healed by the ambrosia, resulting in increased strength and the assimilation of the monster's DNA. Empowered by his new abilities, Hajime continues hunting and devouring monsters to raise his levels and acquire their physical and magical powers. Through trial and error, he even uses his transmutation skill to craft his first powerful weapon, a pistol named Dawn. Finally, he sets out to hunt down and consume the bear monstrosity that had taken his arm, and after his victory, he searches for a way to descend further into the abyss. Meanwhile, the king is informed of Hajime's apparent demise, but unwilling to accept the loss of a hero, he forbids any mention of the incident. Shirasaki Kaori's friend reveals through flashbacks that their high school class and teacher were summoned to this world by the Pope to act as heroes in the war against demons and monsters. She notices that their classmate, Hiyama, is acting strangely but doesn't witness his attack on Hajime. Hajime eventually reaches a massive stone door and defeats its guardians, retrieving keys from their lifeless bodies. Kaori remains determined to find Hajime behind those doors. Behind the doors, Hajime discovers a young girl imprisoned in a crystal but decides to leave her, believing she must be a dangerous monster imprisoned for a reason. However, she reveals herself to be an immortal vampire princess who was betrayed by her uncle and sealed away. Feeling sympathy for her, Hajime freezes her but renames her Yu after her golden hair reminiscent of moonlight. As they continue their journey, Hajime and Yu are attacked by a colossal scorpion monster. Yu feeds on Hajime's blood, recovering her magic, and together, they defeat the scorpion. Hajime reveals to Yu that all vampires were exterminated 300 years ago, making her the last of her kind. Yu explains that the labyrinths were constructed by powerful magic users called Mavericks, who failed to defeat God and built the labyrinths as sanctuaries against God's revenge. It is speculated that some Mavericks may still be alive on the deepest floors. Using the scorpion's shell, Hajime transmutes a rifle named Schlagen. He confides in Yu about his betrayal and reveals that he no longer cares about his classmates or seeking revenge. His sole desire is to obtain enough power to return to Japan, and as Yu no longer has a home, he asks her to accompany him. Meanwhile, Hajime's classmates decide to enter the labyrinth once again. Hajime and Yu find themselves on the floor of the labyrinth where all the monsters have been infected and controlled by a plant-like creature. Unfortunately, Yu becomes infected as well. However, thanks to eating a particular monster earlier, Hajime becomes immune to the infection and is able to defeat the creature. Several days later, they finally reach the bottom floor, ready to confront the final boss monster. The final boss is a massive hydra-like creature with 6 heads, each capable of different types of magic. One of the heads possesses a fear-inducing hypnosis ability, which almost leads to Yu being eaten. But Hajime saves her by snapping her out of it with a kiss. Using his transmutation ability, Hajime manages to destroy 3 of the heads, including the healing head, while Yu takes care of the remaining 3 using lightning magic. Just when they think the battle is over, a surprise 7th head emerges. In an attempt to protect Yu, Hajime gets injured, and his powerful transmutation weapon, Schlagen, is destroyed. However, even in his unconscious state, Hajime hears Yu crying and somehow gains incredible speed, dodging all attacks. He strategically uses grenades, causing the roof to collapse on the monster's head, giving you the opportunity to finish it off with a final strike of lightning. As the final door opens, Hajime collapses from exhaustion.